Hi everybody. I would like to have been able to go over these charts with you last week, but the numbers just weren't available at that time. We always have to wait a day or two or three after the first of the quarter is over in order to get real data, because not everybody has posted it yet. Anyway, we've got some interesting data this time for our first quarter versus previous quarters, particularly in the residential home appreciation. Pardon me for turning my back on you. But up here at the top, of course, is the square foot finished. What we see is that it's just about absolutely even from last year, or from the end of last year. That's moved very, very little. But our average sale price has gone up about 2%. And the fact that the square footage didn't change and that the average price has gone up also reflects here in our square footage, which is the most important part. And an interesting thing here, we have updated the paragraphs here. If you're not aware of the fact that we do update these paragraphs each month or each quarter when we do this, you should read those, because you may get caught with somebody looking at it and actually reading the document. We have now attained the highest price per square foot that we've ever had in Bloomington and Monroe County in residential. So this translates basically to you when you are working on your CMAs. We've had, over the past 4 or 5 years, essentially we could use 4 or 5 years data. We've got a couple of percent that has gone up from that. So if a neighborhood or a type of house in a neighborhood's been selling at $180,000, we may be able to push that to $185,000 just based upon this first quarter. And we'll see how the second quarter goes, but I do believe we're seeing an upward price trend. Second chart that we have here is one that you have not seen before. We have data now that is from the IRMLS, which includes all of Evansville and all the way up around the west side of the state and the north parts. So that's a little bit more data for us to make a comparison on, and I think this may be helpful. Up here, we'll make a synopsis on it, but at the very top up here is the IRMLS numbers, and for total units sold in the first quarter this year versus last year, it was down 16% for the total first quarter. Similarly, in the Bloomington, which is the second grouping of things, there are 4 in here. The Bloomington was down 12%, a little bit better than what the IRMLS was in terms of how many units sold. Volume, of course, translated and followed with that, and they were 22% in volume here in Monroe County, or in the Bloomington Board of Realtors. Then we can take a look at the Monroe County here and Owen County here. Owen County's numbers are so small it's hard, they really jump around, but Monroe County shows that we dropped down in unit sales 22%. That was a total of 76 fewer units in Monroe County. What I think I'm gleaning from this, and you'll have to take a look at it a little bit, but is that we have started reaching beyond Monroe County to keep our numbers, because overall the board has not dropped down as big a percentage, 12% off for the board overall, and yet 22% in Monroe County. That's probably a reflection of, I would guess, very few new homes being built. We just don't have that product to sell right now. So take a look at these. We can go back over them the next time we get together in a sales meeting and maybe get into it a little bit more in depth. When we start taking a look at numbers that are 10, 20, and at one time earlier this year we were running 30% behind. When we start looking at these kinds of numbers, what you need to understand is that snow, and deep snow and cold, I think really took its effect. The flip side of this very slow first quarter probably means that June, July, April, May, June, and July are going to be very busy in a catch-up mode, because people are still going to want to move. They just didn't want to mess with getting their houses on the market. We are seeing a pretty good influx of new listings now. That's where we need to focus. If you can get a listing right now, you can also bump the price a little bit right now, and we should have an excellent second quarter. That's what I'm looking forward to. So anyway, that's somewhat of recognition. If you want to listen to this and then kind of follow along in the charts, you might want to print them out ahead of time to do that. Thanks. We'll talk to you later.